I'm now on the site of what is proposed by the Dun-Laoghaire Rathdown County Council as the new iconic area for the Civic Centre. This, according to some people, is going to be up to 11 stories in height, which is of concern to some. When you think of a civic centre, you don't always think of high-rise, you know. And as well as that, just here beside the Dundrum on the old shopping centre, we all know about what's Ombro Planola haven't decided upon, which will be up to 16 stories and 15 stories and 14 stories. So the whole landscape of Dundrum is changing. And even though the DLR wrote an 120-page document last year absolutely castigating this high-rise scheme, it looks like themselves that they want a little piece of that sort of high-rise scheme in relation to their civic centre. This is a civic centre that I understand that 9 other locations were picked to look at, to explore, but they've decided on this one. Now, I don't really know why, because it's in a very unremarkable part of our Dundrum, and it has to be shoehorned in vertically and very high rise just to enable it to sort of to breathe, I suppose. Furthermore, for some reason, they don't really seem to want to publish what will be the size of it, the usage of it. I understand they want to move the library from here and into the Civic Centre, move a lot of staff, public servants into this building. Could be hundreds of staff for whatever reason. That is a good or bad idea. So I don't know how much of a community-based idea is going to be for the Civic Centre. They just won't release the information. I went to the open day yesterday and asking questions about the Civic Centre, and it's one area they don't seem to want to be able to discuss in greater detail, except to say it's still with the planners. I'm perplexed how you would release an extensive document, being the local area plan, with hundreds of pages, and a lot of it is about the civic centre, the community, inclusivity and things like that. And you will, without really saying to people, well, we didn't like the big Dundrum developer Hammerson's site, the size of it, the scale of it, whatever. But actually, now that we're putting our own plans together, if they're going to build a big site, well, we want a big site too. It's all a little bit sort of up in the air for me, and not a lot of detail. I just don't understand how you expect people, if you give them a deadline of the 21st of July next month to make a submission on what? In relation to someone has an issue with this, how can you make a submission if you don't know what it is? You don't know what size it is, you don't know what usage it is. You can't make a proper submission. That's just one observation. And as you can see, this is a very unremarkable part of Dundrum. It's nothing but traffic. It's going to block what many consider their own landmark in Dundrum, their Bass, whatever, and then take it from there. So it's a case of, it's a very unusual step to put it here. What we have over here is a site that was also looked at behind Dundrum Library. It's a massive site. They're saying it's on a floodplain. You know, I've spoken to the residents there. At the end of the day, I'm sure with technology and architecture the way it is in this day and age, it couldn't be overcome. But again, that could have been a much nicer site. You could have built something which was initially proposed on the old Dundrum shopping centre. Instead, what we're left here is what appears to be another bad idea of building it in a small little space in an unremarkable part of Dundrum. It has to go up high because it's such a small, tight space. Then you have to move bus terminuses, start disrupting people in the area. It seems one bad idea after the other, and we want your comment section underneath.